$8,000. That's the yearly bill just to keep a 32-foot express cruiser floating. The slip, the insurance, the haul out, not to run her anywhere, just to keep her. And plenty of owners pay every dollar of it to use the boat a dozen days a season. That's the thing about express cruisers. Fast, pretty, a cabin down below, a cockpit built for a crowd, and a reputation, a well-earned one, for eating a man alive after he signs. The thirsty gas engines, the insurance, the slip that costs more than the boat some years. It's why so many good people buy one, use it twice, and spend the next 3 summers paying to store a decision they already regret. The trouble was never the boat. It was the bill that came every month, whether they showed up or not. And the man who sold it to them, he never once said the yearly number out loud. He sold the monthly payment and the top speed. He steered them toward twins, because 2 engines is double of everything he services later. He sold them the newest hull on the row, the one that drinks the hardest and drops value the fastest. The keeping of the boat was never his problem. It was yours, the day after the ink dried. But here's the part the yearly number hides. Not every express cruiser bleeds you. A few of them, the right few, are quietly cheap to keep because they were built simple, powered, sane, and priced where the losses already happened. 5 of them today. And every single one attacks a different line on that marina statement. Stay with me, because the cheapest one to own is the last one. Let's take that yearly bill apart, line by line, because once you can see the lines, you can hunt a boat that beats them. The biggest line for most owners isn't the engine, it's the slip. A mid-tier marina runs you $25 a foot a month in 2026, and that's before power and pump outs. Do that on a 30-footer and you're $7,000–8,000 a year tied to the dock going nowhere. On the premium coast, in Newport or Miami or Southern California, you double that number and keep climbing. Then insurance, 1 to 3% of what the boat is worth. Then fuel, then the haul out and bottom paint every year or two. Then the routine stuff, the oil and filters and impellers. And then the line nobody writes down, the reserve, the money you set aside for the day, something big finally lets go. Add all that up and the old rule holds. A boat costs you about 10% of its value every year just to own, and the first year runs closer to double, because that's the year you fix everything the last fella put off. Here's the thing though, that 10% is a number you can fight. Buy the boat that's cheap to insure, sips instead of guzzles, and parks in your own driveway, and you don't pay the average. You pay well under it. That is the whole game today. And there's a bonus buried in every boat on this list. They're all old enough that the ugly part of the depreciation is already behind them. A new express cruiser sheds 1/3 of its value in 5 years. These already took that hit on somebody else's watch. So the value they lose each year now is small money instead of a slow bleed. That's one more line quietly working in your favor before we even name the first boat. Number 5, the Wellcraft 2600 Martinique. We start at the cheap end on purpose, because this is where the yearly bill gets small before you even try. A late 90s, early 2000s Martinique is a 26-footer on a solid fiberglass deep V, and you'll find a clean one today, anywhere from $12,000 to $25,000. One engine, a single gas stern drive, 250 to 350 horse, sitting in an open bay, you can walk around and lay a hand on every part of. Now watch what a cheap single-engine boat does to the yearly bill. Insurance runs off the boat's value, so on a $15,000 hull, it's a couple hundred a year, not a couple thousand. The yearly percentage we just talked about, 10% of $15,000 is $1,500, not the $5,000 you'd spend keeping a boat worth 3 times as much. One engine means one set of everything. Half the filters, half the impellers, half the pumps. And at 6,000 pounds, she's light, so she rides a smaller slip and gets pulled behind a smaller truck. Now I know what the dock talk says. Wellcraft, budget brand, throwaway boat. Let me stop and be fair, because that reputation is lazy. That is a hand-laid solid glass hull, no coring to soak up water, a proven Mercury or Volvo block underneath it. Built to a price, sure, but honest. There is not one throwaway thing about a boat you can fix with your own 2 hands for what the parts actually cost. And that right there, knowing the real yearly number before you fall for the paint, is the whole reason I put the playbook together. It walks you through every line on that marina statement with a worksheet you fill in for the exact boat you're looking at, so you know what she costs to keep before you make an offer, not the winner after. A small number up front so the big number never shows up. Links in the description, and there's a QR code on screen if you'd rather scan it. Your call either way. Number 4. The Larson Cabrio 290. A little more boat, a little more room, 3 double berths down below, and still a used price that sits around $20,000 to $30,000 for a clean one. But that's not why she made the list. She's here for the maintenance line, the one that quietly doubles the moment you buy the wrong kind of boat. Because under the hatch of a Larson Cabrio is about the most boring, most fixable power there is. A Marinized General Motors Vate, the 6.2 liter, or the older 5.7. The same block near enough that has been in a million trucks and a million boats. And that matters at the parts counter more than anywhere else on the water. The fuel filter for that engine? $22, off a shelf, shipped to your door. Not a dealer-only part you wait 3 weeks and pay $80 for. Turn your own wrenches on a boat like this, and the routine line, the oil, the filters, the impeller, the plugs, is a couple $100 a year. And a Saturday morning, hand that same list to the yard at $150 an hour, and you have just multiplied it by 5. Same boat, same work. The only difference is whether the engine will let you do it yourself, and this one will. We're into the top 3 now, and these are the ones I'd actually go out looking for. If this line-by-line way of sizing up a boat is useful to you, do me a favor and tap the like button. It genuinely helps the channel find the next buyer who needs it, and subscribe if you want the rest of these breakdowns as they land. Now, the top 3. Number 3, the Crownline 270 CR. Crownline built a better boat than folks give them credit for. Solid deep V glass, a helm that's actually laid out right, fit and finish a clear notch above the price. You'll see clean ones from the mid-2000s in the low to mid-30s, up toward 40 for a late one, and the one you want has a single engine in it. Why does that single matter? In dollars, plenty. A Crownline 270 on one Mercruiser, 350 mag cruises, along burning 9, 10, 11 gallons an hour. Put twins in that same size hull, and you're not quite burning double, but you're close, 18, 20 gallons, for the exact same trip, at the exact same speed. Run 60 hours in a season, which is more than most people ever manage, and that single engine hands you back better than $1,000 in fuel every year, for giving up nothing you'd actually miss on a cruiser. Run the numbers on that over 10 years, and it's real money, a fresh outboard's worth of fuel you simply never bought. And the salesman will always walk you toward the twin anyway. More power, he says. Get you home, he says. But for a boat you run at an easy cruise on a nice weekend, that second engine is a fuel bill and a second stack of repair tickets, dressed up as insurance. Number 2, the Monterey 322 Cruiser. Now I'm going to do something that looks like it breaks my own rule, and then show you why it doesn't. The 322 is a 32-footer, and most of them came with twins. 2 engines. I just spent a whole item telling you to buy one, so why is a twin-engine boat sitting this high on a low-cost list? Because of the line nobody budgets for until it wrecks them. The reserve. The money a big, ugly surprise repair eats. The rotten fuel tank that runs $8,000 to $20,000 to swap because the engine has to come out to reach it. The soft transom, the stringer, the thing the survey should have caught. That single repair can cost more than a cheaper boat is even worth. The Monterey is built to keep that line quiet. Ask the owners, ask the surveyors, and you hear the same word every time. Heavy. Overbuilt for her size, quality glass, quality hardware. Materials a cut above the boats she sold against. Owners put her right up there with Sea Ray and Chaparral. A boat built like that doesn't nickel and dime you with structural surprises, and she holds her value while she's at it, so you're not bleeding depreciation every year either. Yes, you feed 2 engines, but 2 simple gas V8s you can service yourself, bolted into a hull that isn't going to hand you a 5-figure shock, is a trade a lot of smart owners take and win. And number 1, the cheapest express cruiser to keep that I know of, the 4 Winds 268 Vista. 28 feet of solid glass deep V, a single gas stern drive, and a real mid-cabin down below with a galley, a head, and a berth fore and aft. Clean ones run $13,000 to $28,000. Fine boat, but that's not why she wins. She wins on the biggest line of them all. Her beam is 8'6", and 8'6" is the magic number, because that is the widest a boat can be and still roll down the interstate behind a truck with no permit, no escort, no special anything at all. Which means the Four Winds 268 does not need a slip. She lives in your driveway, on her trailer, for nothing. That one line, the $8,000 a year the other four owners hand the marina, you cross clean off the page. Now stack the rest on top. One engine to service, a boat cheap enough that a company will insure her for about $100 a year, and a hull light enough to launch, run, and pull home the same afternoon, which means no haul-out bill in the fall either. You back the trailer down and drive her home yourself. You'll want a 3/4-ton truck to tow 8,000 pounds of boat and trailer. That's the one catch worth naming. Pay for the truck once. Skip the slip forever. That is not a boat payment. That is a tank of gas and a patch of driveway. What I'd buy with my own money? 2 of them, and it comes down to the driveway. If I had the room and a truck already sitting in it, the Four Winds 268, every time, because a slip you never pay is the cheapest boat expense on earth. If I wanted a little more boat and didn't mind a slip, the Crownline 270 on the single engine, sipping while the twins around it drink. Because that was always the trick with an express cruiser. The sticker was never the number that got people. It was the 12 months after it, coming due whether the engine turned over or not. Attack those 12 months, one line at a time, and the fast, pretty boat everybody swears you can't afford to keep turns out to be the one you can. There's a whole tier of overlooked cruisers that plays this same game, and I'm just getting started pulling them apart.